You wake up, stumble to the kitchen, and there it is. A dead mouse, perfectly placed on the floor like a gift at a birthday party. Your cat is sitting right next to it, looking up at you with what can only be described as pride. You say thank you like a confused hostage and throw it away. This has happened to millions of cat owners, and most of them assume it just means their cat is a tiny serial killer with a flair for presentation. But the real explanation goes much deeper than that, and it has almost nothing to do with violence. It has to do with love, instinct, survival, and a relationship between humans and cats that stretches back 10,000 years. So why exactly does your cat bring you dead animals? Let us start at the beginning. Cats were domesticated somewhere around 10 to 12,000 years ago in the ancient Near East, in the region we now call the Fertile Crescent. Humans had recently figured out how to farm, which meant storing grain, which meant attracting rodents. Rodents attracted wildcats. Wildcats who were bold enough to hunt near human settlements got first access to an endless food supply. Humans who tolerated those wildcats had fewer rats eating their grain. It was a deal that worked for everyone. But here's the critical difference between cats and basically every other domesticated animal. Dogs were actively shaped by humans over thousands of years. Wolves that were calmer, more obedient, more socially connected to humans got bred deliberately over generations that produced an animal that is genuinely wired to look to humans for direction and approval. Cats did not go through that process. They essentially walked up, decided they liked the arrangement, and stayed. Humans never really selectively bred them for temperament or behavior. As a result, your cat today is not that far removed from a small wildcat. Genetically and behaviorally, domestic cats are almost identical to their wild ancestors. The instincts that made wildcats effective hunters are still running inside your cat, fully intact every single day. Which brings us to the dead mouse on your kitchen floor. In the wild, a mother cat does not just feed her kittens by nursing them forever. At a certain point, she starts teaching them to hunt. First, she brings back dead prey and places it in front of them. This is the first lesson. Here is what food looks like. Here is where it comes from. Here is what you do with it. Then, over time, she brings back injured prey, still alive but weakened. This lets the kittens practice finishing the kill in a controlled setting. Eventually, she takes them out and shows them how to hunt from scratch. The dead animal on your floor is lesson 1. Your cat is not bragging. Your cat is teaching. From the cat's perspective, you are a large, clumsy creature who cannot hunt, never brings home food, and seems dangerously unprepared for the future. Your cat is compensating for your apparent incompetence by bringing you something to work with. This behavior shows up most strongly in spayed female cats, which is one of the clearest pieces of evidence that it is maternal in origin. A spayed female has no kittens, but her maternal instincts do not disappear. They need somewhere to go. You become the recipient. You are functionally her giant helpless kitten who keeps throwing away perfectly good mice. But the maternal teaching instinct is not the only thing going on. There is also something called prey presentation, and it has a slightly different motivation. Cats are what biologists call solitary hunters. Unlike lions, which hunt in groups and share kills, wild cats hunt alone and eat alone. But they are not entirely antisocial. Cats do form social bonds, especially within family groups. And within those bonds, there is a behavior where cats share prey with individuals they are emotionally connected to. Your cat has formed that kind of bond with you. When your cat brings you a dead bird, it is not just teaching. It is also sharing. In the cat's social framework, offering prey to another member of your group is an act of trust and affection. It is the cat equivalent of cooking someone dinner. The fact that you find it horrifying is, from your cat's perspective, baffling. You are rejecting a meal that was hunted specifically for you. This is also why cats often seem confused or mildly offended when you immediately pick up the dead animal and throw it away. You just took their gift and discarded it in front of them. They did the equivalent of showing up to a dinner party with a homemade pie and watching the host throw it directly into the trash. Now here is where the story gets more interesting, because not all dead animal deliveries mean the same thing. If your cat brings you prey and then walks away, the delivery was likely in teaching mode. They left the item for you to practice with. If your cat brings prey and then sits nearby watching you, waiting for a reaction, that is more social. They want acknowledgement. They want you to engage with what they brought. Some cats will chirp or make a particular vocalization when they present prey. That sound is a specific communication. Something like, "Look at this. Pay attention to what I have done." If your cat brings you prey and then immediately tries to eat it in front of you, that is actually a sign of deep comfort. In the wild, cats are vulnerable while eating. A cat who eats near you is saying they feel completely safe with you present. That is a significant level of trust, even if the thing being eaten is a sparrow. There is also a practical reason cats bring prey inside rather than eating it outdoors. In the wild, open spaces are dangerous. A cat eating in a field is exposed to predators from every direction. Carrying prey to a safe, enclosed location before eating is a survival behavior. Your house is the safest enclosed location your cat knows. So when they bring something inside, they are following an instinct that has kept wildcats alive for millions of years. The fact that you live there too is almost incidental. Let us also talk about indoor cats, because this gets more complicated. A cat who has spent their entire life indoors and has never once encountered a real mouse will sometimes still bring you things. Toys, socks, crumpled pieces of paper. There are documented cases of cats who bring their owners the same toy mouse every single morning, depositing it outside the bedroom door with a very specific vocalization that cat behaviorists have described as a hunting announcement call. Those cats are running the exact same behavioral program. The prey drive is intact. The presentation instinct is intact. The social sharing behavior is intact. They are just working with whatever materials are available. A toy mouse is not a real mouse, but the ritual is the same. This also helps explain why cats sometimes bring prey that is still alive. It is not cruelty. They are not trying to traumatize you. They are delivering the second stage of the teaching process. Dead prey is lesson 1. Live prey is lesson 2. Your cat is escalating your curriculum because you failed to demonstrate any improvement from the initial delivery. You keep throwing the dead mouse away without eating it or practicing on it. From your cat's perspective, your hunting education is not progressing. They are trying a different approach. Biologists who study cat cognition have found that the social bonds cats form with their human owners are genuinely comparable in structure to the bonds cats form with other cats they trust. Cats use the same body language, the same vocalizations, and the same behavioral rituals with humans that they use with familiar members of their own species. The slow blink, the head bunting, the decision to sleep pressed against you, and the prey delivery. Interestingly, cats reserve these behaviors almost exclusively for humans they are comfortable with. A cat who brings you dead animals is not a problem cat. A cat who brings you dead animals is a cat who has decided you are part of their core social group. It is an honor. A very inconvenient honor, but an honor. If you would prefer your cat stop doing this, the most effective approach is management rather than punishment. Punishment does not work on cats for this particular behavior, because the behavior is not a mistake from the cat's perspective. It is a deliberate, intentional act of care. Telling a cat off for bringing you prey is like telling someone off for holding a door open. They will not understand what they did wrong, and they will not stop. What does work is keeping your cat indoors during peak hunting hours, which are dawn and dusk. Enriching their environment so that their prey drive gets channeled into play. Using puzzle feeders so that the hunting instinct gets exercised at mealtime. And when a delivery does happen, acknowledging it calmly before disposal. You do not have to be thrilled, but a brief moment of acknowledgement before you throw it away respects the communication your cat is attempting. When you look at the full picture, the dead mouse on the kitchen floor is not a disturbing quirk. It is the output of an unbroken behavioral chain that starts with wildcats in the ancient Near East, runs through 10,000 years of coexistence, and ends with a small animal who genuinely, in their own very cat-like way, is trying to take care of you. Your cat looks at you and sees someone worth teaching, someone worth sharing with, someone who belongs in their inner circle. The mouse is proof of that. You are welcome.